Hello everybody and welcome to Banter Blitz, where you can challenge me to a 5-minute game. This time without echo. Today we will be talking a lot about Beauty and the Beast, which I had to see in the movies the other day. I was urged to accompany my girlfriend. Not a lot of male viewers in that cinema. I thought it was a kids movie, but it's just women. Women really seem to dig that, and I have a bunch of theories about it. But before I die on Beauty and the Beast Echo Island, let us play a game of chess first, I would guess. We'll revisit this thing eventually. How about this dude? Or maybe it's a girl. You never know. Oops. No, let's not leave. Sandra BS Revenge. Am I allowed to guess that BS stands for bullshit? Probably not, because this is a family show and also it could be meant as an insult. And no, I feel bad about this. It's Sandra Bullock. Now I got it. Sandra B's Revenge. Got it. Because else the S would have been big. And I believe that's a picture from Gravity, one of the worst movies of all time. Certainly the worst movie ever to win an Oscar for, I think, Best Director. Is that what it won? I've talked a lot about Gravity in the past, but since this Avatar is clearly making me talk about the topic, I won't be able to avoid it. So the movie is nonsense. It's just Sandra Bullock. I'll also spoil things, but it's an old movie and you don't want to see it anyway. So it's just Sandra Bullock floating around in space, having mental trouble, and there's no real stakes. She's pretty much the only protagonist, so we know she's gonna make it out of there. I do think that us astronauts probably they do some background checks about like mental baggage. Like if I applied, I don't think they would allow me to go to space. And Sandra Bullock's got a lot of issues, which is fairly obvious from the stuff she's talking about. Okay, I'm gonna have to talk about this game for a second, because Sandra B is giving me a pawn. And you know how I operate. You give me a pawn, even though it opens all the lines in front of my king. I cannot resist. Okay, Sandra B's Revenge. Not only do you like the movie Gravity, or maybe you don't like it, but you're saying this is Sandra B's Revenge for people that had to... I can't even follow that train of thought. That had to watch that movie where she's this brave soccer mom, and now she's taking revenge on us for making us sit blindside, is that what it's called? Through another weird movie? I don't get it. I don't like my position all that much. I'll go here, see what happens. But white's position is easier to play, h4. Now you have to try to dislocate this knight on h5, but I will fight for that not to happen. I can stabilize it by putting my other knight on f6, and as long as it stands here, I'm fairly solid. I should be a little careful not to run into any brilliancy prizes. Queen h5, gh, 96, fe, 95, followed by rook g7. But I don't have to accept every single one of those sacrifices. So it doesn't work yet. But I'm gonna have to keep my eyes open about potential knight takes d5s. Rook g2. I don't know what that's about. I'll make some. Is there any threats? Are there any threats? Nah, I'll stick with is there any threats. I'll make some fake active move like a5, a4. I don't know. Is queen takes h5 ever an issue? I'm too scared to even have to think about it. So I'm gonna start fortifying my defensive lines around here by going knight f6, ruling out any h5 related trouble. e4, fair enough, trying to dislocate Mr. Horse on f6, but giving up material. And as usual, all my theories about blockading and so on, I tend to be willing to give up on if I can take material. This is not an exception. e5 trying to muddy the waters a bit further. But no such luck, I would guess. Gotta make up my mind. Knight g4, queen g2, knight takes e5 looks winning. There's probably other ways to get the job done. Knight takes h4. No, that's too fancy. Knight e4 probably wins. I'm just slightly annoyed that here after queen g2, knight e5, h5, I still have to handle with a bit of care. But that is life on the chessboard. You have to take some care. h5 has been played. Josh Chess is talking about Interstellar, another one of those space movies. There seems to be like one space movie per year that even gets critical acclaim and that some people like, right? There's Interstellar, there's The Martian last year, there was Gravity. My general theory on all these movies is they tend to be terrible, even though The Martian was watchable. I don't think it's the greatest movie ever, and probably nobody thinks that, but it wasn't terrible, so kudos to The Martian. Interstellar I started watching, I just couldn't hang with it. I don't know, I enjoy Christopher Nolan when he does Batman stuff, or even his Memento stuff, but whenever he's trying to show us too much how smart he is, like with this, what's it called? Inception and Interstellar, I'm normally out. Even though, as I said, I haven't really finished Interstellar, so I should not judge, but I like to judge. As for the position, I like to judge that Sandra B's revenge will not have a happy ending, even though there is this thing about paying attention I talked about earlier, which I stopped doing in favor of Interstellar. Here we go. Will this come back to haunt me? King h7, bishop e5, bishop e5, hg6. Kind of scary. King g7, gf, king f7, queen g6, checkmate. There you go. Don't want that to happen. Got all worked up there about Interstellar. I'm in a bit of trouble now. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. At least I'm down on the clock too. So I have to do this with a heavy heart. Gotta keep the files closed-ish. But kudos to Sandra B's revenge. Not only did she do this horrible Gravity movie, she's also throwing everything but the kitchen sink at me here, and might very well either checkmate me or flagmate me. What happened to the clock? Didn't I just have less than 59 seconds? Very confusing. Did you guys see that? Or am I going mad? I think there is also the option that you did see it and I'm still going mad. So those are not like exclusive, is that the word? And Sandra B trying very hard to find one last swindle here. But no such thing. Material does matter. That's the good thing about it. Player number 5 puts me not really on the spot, he says. Since you say The Martian is good, I will watch The Martian. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's must-see TV or cinema, but I think, yeah, it's very, very watchable and even rewatchable. So if you had to watch one of these space movies, that'd be the one. In general, I'm not a space guy. I tried getting into this 2001 space. Is it Odyssey or Odyssey? I always get it wrong. Space Odyssey, I believe. Wasn't able to do it. Okay, I have to speed up a bit before we get back on the Sandy B train. Or off the Sandy B bandwagon, rather. Queen d3, that is a check. I'm threatening mate, so I couldn't resist playing this, even though a better move would have been queen and queen g6 or whatnot. Not that it matters all that much, but being low on time, still need to be careful. I don't know what accent that is. Then again, I have developed this very unhealthy bullet addiction. I've played way too much bullet the last 2-3 weeks, really. I got better at it, which means that I won't get flagged here, but it's still not a good hobby to have. It doesn't help your chess or your work or anything, really. So I don't recommend playing too much bullet. Do as I say, not as I do. Or do whatever you want, really. I don't think you should do as I say, even. Do flag. Is it my move? Sometimes I don't even see the move happening. It's all so weird. Sandra B is speeding up. And playing well, actually. Still have to be careful. But I did manage to get the job done in the end, if the job is to win a horrible game. So kudos to Sandra B for playing well and for interrupting all my rants about Beauty and the Beast and about gravity. I'm still upset about... I don't fully get your username, but I think I'm upset about your profile picture. Thanks for the game, Sandra B's Revenge. Smooth start as usual, so why not play somebody even stronger? I feel like I'm in great shape now, might as well. Do we have issues here? Is there a problem? No, here we go. Perro Amor. 2663 from Spain. I am familiar with the movie Amores Perros. I'm not sure if Perro Amor refers to that. C4, I always thought the best move to play here is D4. The problem is I don't really know anything about it. Another move I think is fine is DC4. Problem, once again, don't really know anything about it. But I do think both of these moves are fine. Here, can I go here? I wasn't sure if knight e5 bothers me, but probably not. Queen d5, knight c6. Oh no, queen d6? Well, we'll find this out another day. But now it seems like he brought his queen out so early that this should be a decent version of whatever this is, really. Some sort of Sicilian. Could go bishop e6, but I'll just start with this. Don't think knight g5 or bishop g5 are any issue. He does go bishop g5 though. Maybe he does not love bishops as much as I love bishops. Who knows? Do you respect bishops, Perro Amor? So is Perro Amor, which means dog love, a reference to the movie Amores Perros? I would guess it is. But what do I know? I don't even know if I should allow bishop f6 or if I should keep this knight. The feeling this might be one of the rare cases where I'd rather have the knight. M. Knight Shyamalan. Never quite sure how to put my pieces here. This is a reversed Sicilian dragon, and I lack a bit of expertise because I'm not an e4 player in how to handle these types of positions. You still gotta make chess moves, so it's not like I feel completely hopeless, but I always on these reverse Sicilian structures feel at a bit of a loss. I'm planning to put my pawn on a4, gain a little bit of space and hope that's useful in the future. Of course, I have to deal with the fact that he could try to put a knight on c5, but I thought something along those lines. Knight d7, knight c5, takes, how's that? Probably roughly equal. Can I do better? Bishop b3. Probably bishop b3 is a mistake. He goes queen c5. See, at least I had the feeling it was a mistake. Couldn't really tell why. Queen e3. A lot of back and forth. And I'm painfully slow so far. So it really is time to speed up a bit. Can't play yet. I thought it'd be fresher early in the morning, or, well, soon after arriving to work, I should say, but not the case. I just can't make moves, you see, all my reflexes are asleep. In case you wondered, will I do more whining or less whining? Same amount of whining. Certainly not less. I had some plan against knight d2, which by now I have forgotten. Queen e4, interesting. Okay. Strange move, but not a bad move. I can't think. Sorry guys. h6 is horrible. I just cannot create a thought. This is a terrible, terrible move, weakening all the light squares. I just could not think. Is that a valid excuse? Not so sure. Okay, how do I find any sort of mojo? Perro Amor is playing well. I don't want to take anything away from him. But I can't make up my mind on anything. It's quite shocking, really. Am I speeding up? It looks like I'm gonna make 2 moves in a row quickly, which would be a new personal record for, at the very least, this game, probably for today. There you go. That's all it takes, 2 moves. And I feel like Austin Powers, after he made it back to the 70s. Was it the 70s? Yes. Bishop g2. All right. Deep trap. Rook c7, knight d5. That's probably not a very good move. Do you see the fear in my eyes? That's just fear. It's not anxiety. It's not tension. Pure fear. Fear and loathing. I feel like the mojo is gone again. It was there for like 8 seconds, then it disappeared. At the very least, I struggle slightly less making moves now. The moves are still not very good, but I don't feel frozen anymore. This frozen thing I was gonna bring up later as a segue to the Beauty and the Beast thing, but I'm too busy sitting behind this position right now to give a lot of opinions on Disney movies. Okay, rook c5 means I should not mess around on the king side just yet. I want to go h5 just to rule out g4s, but now I'll maybe go f5. Very tense. My guess is the position is roughly equal. I don't think I'm in trouble. I don't think he's in any particular trouble. So it really comes down to making decisions. Knight c3, I guess I have to take that, which I'm not too thrilled about. At the very least, my king is more active than his king. Oh, rook c4. Did not see that coming. Did not see any of those moves coming, to be honest. Big rook and game champion, this guy. But my g-pawn looks fairly quick. Go, Goran! Save the day for us. Oof, a lot of drama against Perro Amor. Yeah, as usual, no clue what happened over the last 10 moves. A lot of action though, and I did not enjoy myself greatly in the early stage. First of all, because I don't understand these positions well. Secondly, because I became very, what's the expert term? Catatonic? Or is that offensive? If it is, I apologize. But yeah, I could not move. All right. So, are we finally ready to talk about Beauty and the Beast? Once again, warning, spoiler alert. I will spoil all of Beauty and the Beast. But now I have too many tough guys to deal with here. Like this dude, Feed Master. But my first thoughts on Beauty and the Beast. So the story starts with this witch. I think she's a good witch. She's supposed to be a good witch, arriving at this dude's castle. And the witch, she looks a bit creepy. She's acting all weird, like she's lying on this floor yelling, I think. And she asks for asylum through the night. So the dude, the prince, does the normal thing. Tells her, no, sorry, busy over here. And the punishment is, not only does he get transformed into this beast thing, but his whole staff, like tens of people at the very least, become living objects and are doomed to, unless whatever, he falls in love, doomed to stay objects for the rest of their life. I think to, at some point, you lose all of their humanity. So that seemed a bit harsh to me. Then he catches this dude, Belle's father, taking a rose from the garden. And the beast, I think the bottom line is that there's good in him or something at the end. So what he does is he wants to arrest him for life for taking a rose out of the garden. Bit harsh once again, in my opinion. Then he imprisons this girl, Belle. And she, after a while, whatever, he does some stuff that I guess is supposed to show how nice he is. Like when she tries to run away, Bishop e7, exclamation mark, by the way. This will feature in my new series. Gotta go Bishop e7 here. Important. Threatening knight h5, avoiding all the positional stuff. Bishop e7 is a strong move. Also, probably threatening queen b6. Probably wasn't threatening knight h5, now that I think about it. But I was busy telling you all about Belle and the Beast. So, then he imprisons Belle. But she suffers from, what is the expert term there? This Stockholm syndrome? Is that what it's called? Like she starts liking her kidnapper because he shows some humanity. Or I don't know if it's humanity. Like he shows her his library. Here you can have my books. And he says, oh, this is a horse. The horse doesn't want to talk to me. But Belle makes him touch the horse. And then everybody's buddies again. So obviously she falls in love with the guy. I don't know. It didn't make a lot of sense to me, to be honest with you. And then I'm trying to figure out, but maybe we have women in the audience or in the comments, because I talked to some women about this, but I haven't heard a very logical case why women like this narrative so much. They say, yeah, this is every woman's dream, and I don't get it. What is the dream? To be kidnapped by, admittedly, a very handsome beast. Like, the beast is not very beasty. I think he looks better as a beast than as a prince, personally. Anyway, is it women's dream to be kidnapped in a castle like that? And then to fall in love with their kidnapper? Or what is it exactly? I couldn't quite figure it out. Or is it, I don't know. I really don't get it, so please explain it to me. And I will now switch from discussing Beauty and the Beast to discussing this game. I played this move bishop e7, which is pointed out by any computer of your choice. In this line after bishop b5, bishop b5 is a move Magnus Carlsen played 3 times. Therefore, a well-known line. Yeah, bishop e7 I believe is strong. And the position we now have on the board should at the very least be fine for me. I'm not sure if I can claim to be better already. But I do have the 2 bishops. I'm guessing after bishop c5 he wants some combination of knight b3, knight d4. But it does look like I can withstand that onslaught. No, he wants e4. That's a surprise, because after a6 it seems like he has to take here. And then after bishop c6, my 2 bishops look fairly strong. It's not like I'm winning material after queen c2, but I do like how my long-range units operate here. Rook c8 was maybe a bit careless. Still, I'm doing well. The question is, can I improve my position towards an advantage? Not sure where to put this queen. This looks slightly off, feels slightly off. Because yeah, it loses sight of the g5 square. And I'm a little worried of running into some ED knight g5 thing. Don't think it's fatal by any stretch of the imagination. But queen b6 was probably a little careless. My first instinct was to go queen f6, but then I changed my mind. Knight b3 I can take, right? I like taking things. Knight g5 now, fair enough. I should resist the temptation to go e3, because queen h7 checkmate kind of ruin the fun for everybody. But if I can do better than bishop e7? I don't know. I should just make moves. He has to go knight e4. And here, once again, a couple choices. Bishop a4 looks interesting. Bishop d5 looks interesting. Normal move like rook fd8 looks fine. Yeah, I like my bishops in this position. I'm slightly better. And I have a bunch of useful moves to strengthen my position. h6, rook fd8, a5. It's not so hard to play, which is always a good thing. Oh, I would hope it's a good thing. Well, for white he has to be a lot more careful about what to do, because I have more options at every juncture. Like here, I could take on a2. I'm not going to, because I'm trying to be fast and practical. But you gotta consider such things. At some point I'll run out of half-natural strengthening moves, but I still have a few left. a3. Okay, I'll go here. a3 opens the door for some e5, bishop b3's trickery, but after e5 is still at knight f5, hitting the bishop, so I'm trying to get out of the way, and I'm guessing I'm threatening e5 now. If something, then bishop b3. He does avoid that, but queen b1, not the most active move mankind has ever seen, so I can continue, you know, strengthening my position un petit peu. Well, white is still kind of struggling to do something useful, or I would guess so. There you go. Rook c4, admittedly not particularly useful either. But, you know, probing. Rook d7, knight e5. Now this didn't really help. Okay. Queen c2. No bishop b3 action this time. Not really. All right. Yeah, gotta admit I have not made a lot of progress over the last couple of moves, but I'm still better. And I'm not in any particular hurry to make progress either, because I have a, what do you call this, a static advantage, so it doesn't go away unless I blunder something, which I might just have done with knight takes e6. Yay me. Don't you love it when I do all this talk about my genius play and then I blunder a pawn? Bishop f3, bishop d6, bishop d1, rook d1 doesn't really help. Rook e6, rook d5. I don't know what that sound was. What to do? I'm very annoyed at me blundering that pawn. Did I blunder more things? Steaming from all my blunders. Exciting game against Kickers fan. Sorry for the flagging. And yeah, that was fairly terrible. I played a good game, but then yeah, just gave it away in one move, which was not great. Where was it here? Rook e d2, f6, just madness. And I kind of saw it immediately what I had done, but yeah, that's really stupid. Yeah, good game by Kickers fan. Not a great move by me. Ay. Let's play somebody else. What about Christian Bench number 37? Oh, Perro Amor is explaining he's not related to, or his handle is not related to the movie Amores Perros, but to an Argentinian song, Perro Amor Explota. The love dog explodes or exploits? Explota is explodes, I guess, right? Christian Bench 37, 1592. I have a feeling you're stronger than that, Christian Bench. I'll be honest with you. He goes d4, knight f6, c4, g6. I shall go here and now advance this pawn. So we might get what the cool kids call a King's Indian. Let's see what line Christian Bench, number 37, chooses. I'm hoping that I'll get a bit of a grip whatever he does so that I can bench press. This is the level, get used to it. Knight fd7, very deep. Too complicated for me, but it kind of makes me want to push my h-pawn. Now that his knight has vacated the h5 square, h5, followed by h5, looked a lot stronger, and h5, of course, black can do that, impeding this advantage. But after bishop g5, there is a price to pay. f6, as you can see, kind of weakening his king side. Nelson was tough to get things done. This construction, okay. Nothing's ever the end of the world. Actually, it's what I call the bathtub. h5, g6, f6, e5, or this general pawn construction, because it looks like a bathtub. It's normally quite solid, but here there are some holes, at least on g6. I have, oh, c5. Interesting choice. I think I'll take d5 was possible, playing a more typical King's Indianish position. And actually, I just thought about the c5 idea in a similar position, because after dc, knight c5 I don't like, but after dc, if he's very fast and he manages to get knight c6, knight d4, sometimes black can be in good shape. And I don't think he would have been in time here, but it's an idea that sometimes works, to just recapture with the pawn and get the knight to d4 extremely quickly. But yeah, now he's in real big trouble, because bishop takes c5 threatens to win a piece, queen takes d6 is a threat, and I'm better positionally controlling this d5 square. Therefore, too many problems, too little time for Christian Bench. 37. Queen c7 gives me a choice. Well, this is the simplest approach. Knight d5 was, of course, possible as well. But, as a wise man once said, a pawn is a pawn. Let's reveal the 7. Hard to do. Design Jan really struggles to move this thing. But at the proper speed. What are we talking about? Crackers with cheese and pretzels for dessert. I don't know. I just read an article about NBA players being addicted to peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, which I guess is more of a US thing than a European thing. Like, it's not a big staple of my childhood. But I thought, if all these top athletes can do it, probably I should start trying to eat more PBJs, as they call it. PB&Js. That's not dirty? Nah. I don't know. They say it's great comfort food, and it's not that bad for you. But the combination strikes me as weird. Is that a common thing? Like, I've eaten plenty of bread with peanut butter. But peanut butter and jelly? What's the jelly good for? I don't know. I kind of stopped paying attention to this game, which is almost always a mistake. Then again, even the games where I've paid attention today have not really gone great. Therefore, maybe lack of attention. Lack of attention has never hurt anybody. I'm not sure you should quote me on that. So, Shandor Farkash 1272 asks, Jan, what's your opinion about Guardians of the Galaxy? I saw the first one at the movies, I think together with our boy Peter Svidler, probably maybe during the Olympiad in Tromsø. Maybe not, I might be wrong on that, but I did see it in a movie theater. I do remember I liked it, but it suffered from this thing that a couple Marvel movies have suffered from, at least in my world, that was so overhyped before it started. And I think they say happiness is a function of expectations, but because of the hype machine, my expectations are always so high for these movies. Same for Captain America, Civil War, or The Winter Soldier, or Avengers, or any of these movies that get 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, that I'm always mildly disappointed. Having said all that, I thought Guardians of the Galaxy was a fun movie for a superhero movie, but it wasn't like the best thing since peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Sandra BS's Revenge says it's jam, not jelly. I'm pretty sure it's jelly, peanut butter and jelly. But maybe jelly is a synonym for jam there? I'm no expert on the correct nomenclature. That's not a word, is it? As a wise man once said, think deeply, talk simply. So I should not get into discussions on the difference between jelly and jam. In my book, jam is what we call marmalade in these parts, and jelly is something a little more wobbly. Also not quite the word. It has a different consistency, but I'm pretty sure the term and the article I read was about peanut butter and jelly. If these two words are interchangeable or not, I do not know. I do know that I'm winning here, even though it's opposite color bishops, because, you know, more pawns and all that. Kalnering. Now this topic I do have opinions on. Kalnering says he likes using two kinds of peanut butter. Spread natural on one slice of toast, super crunch on the other. That is his double PB super sandwich. It is a US thing. All you guys are constantly eating PBs and you all have your secret recipes, right? Anyway, when it comes to peanut butter, crunchy is the only correct choice. Like people that use not crunchy peanut butter are not only wrong, I also feel like they are not to be trusted. So Turf and Fragment is elaborating that peanut butter and jelly is such a common phrase that people use it, but they do mean peanut butter and jam, which sounds plausible to me. Ooh, Kalnering. Stop it. Now he's saying peanut butter and bacon on toast is totally wonderful. This is a widespread theory that everything's better with bacon. Like not Christian Bench's position. If you put a slice of bacon on F7, it wouldn't help. But everything else, well, I do like bacon. It still does sound odd. Anyway, the thing is over here, we have a different definition of sandwiches. We don't really have this white, toasty bread and put stuff in between. We have more our, what do you call this, rolls in the morning? I don't even know what the correct word is. Me, I'm healthy. I'm going to Thailand in not that far away, a bit more than a week. So I'm trying to get into pool shape. I should probably stay away from the PBJs. Have more oatmeal and protein shakes. I'm not in prime shape, but not in horrible shape either. So, Thailand Open, coming. Let's play another game. Let's play our friend from Hamburg City, Mr. Stenersen. Not a strong player, so probably I'm gonna have to focus. Ugh, don't you hate focusing? So what's this book called that everybody always gets me for my birthday? Thinking Fast and Slow, because they think I'm such a thinker. I haven't really read the whole thing, but I believe the bottom line is it's really hard to think hard. So we prefer to kind of be on more or less standby and not think that hard 95% of the time. That's my interpretation of what's probably in it, since, like I said, I haven't really read it. Oh, and Stenersen challenged a 3-minute game. 5 minutes, my dear friends. This gives me no time for winging it. Now I might have to do some, not really actual thinking. I can still play the, what do we call this? The exchange Slav and try to win on time. But it doesn't give me a lot of space for explaining all the depth of my maneuvering. Like why I go rook c1 here and not h3. Not going to be able to do it during a 3-minute game. And the truth is, I don't have the slightest clue. Thing is, he wants to go knight h5 whenever I go bishop f4. So I'm trying to mess around. And now he's going to argue that I've played h3, which is not the most critical move here. Therefore, the position is close to equal. And he's not wrong. But I'm going to argue, you know what, I'm still slightly better because there is potential targets on your queen side that I will exploit with such expert maneuvers as knight to c5 or queen to b6 or a3, b4. That's more or less the discussion here. b5 is saying, I don't want you to do all these expert maneuvers. But now I'm going to say, but you fatally weakened your c5 square. So I'm going to exploit that now. See, it's really big discussion, all taking place in my head. As for reality check, white is slightly better in these positions. Of course, it's the exchange Slav, so it can only get all that exciting. But I've played the Exchange Slav many times, and normally, well, it's a solid opening. Normally, I don't do with the intention of playing for a draw. Or I never do with the intention of playing for a draw. I don't think it's a great opening to play for a draw, frankly. The problem with it is there's limited like pawn breaks and limited ways to generate tension. So it's sometimes not that easy to overwhelm people where I feel like I should have a strategic advantage. But I do think that it's as good an opening as many others. I want to go bishop b5, but I think I might want to wait a move. Or is knight b6 a threat? Bishop b5, knight a7. I don't know. Knight a7, probably not a problem. Okay. Guess I can take on c8 or on a5. Take something. e5. Very aggressive, Mr. Stenersen. But problem is my knight on a2. So long way away from home. Everything else about my position is good though. Could certainly make a case for knight takes d4. As I said, 3-minute game. I don't like those because it doesn't give me time to get into the details. As for why this or why that. And speaking of get into the details, I haven't really thought through the details of knight b5, ab, rook a8, to be honest with you. One detail might be that I'm losing material there, which would be a bit of a pity. Queen b6, I guess I can take here, right? We'll find out. Whoa, action. But did not quite work because my queen is covered on b4 and this is not helping either. Stenersen resigned here. The key moment kind of, I would say even here. Can you take and go rook a8? I might lose a piece. Not sure. Probably has some way to generate messes or compensation, but maybe that's not actually. Who knows? Yeah, this looks like a problem. Anyway, thanks for the game. Let's play another one. Let's play Turf and Fragment. Or is it Turfen? What's a Turfen? Turf and Fragment. What are we talking about? Ongbak, that's a good movie, but a bit hyped. The Beach, bad movie. I'm not quite sure what we're talking about. I'm just reading out the chat. And this is literally last two comments I can see. Usarian says, Jan has many voices in his head, I think. That's a thing I do too. Like I say something and then I add I think, as if it wasn't obvious that that was what I thought. I do that a lot. I don't know why really. But I do agree with you. As I think I just said, I watched this movie Split by M. Night Shyamalan, where, what's his name, James McAvoy has 24 different personalities. He's a schizophrenic. And I guess I have probably around as many. And I think that's normal. I'm not saying I'm schizophrenic or clinically insane just yet. But I do think that we are different in every other setting. Like Banter Blitz Jan is a different person from even German Banter Blitz Jan. And those are very different people from even live commentary Jan. Or, oh, this is a trick I should try not to fall for. Knight f6, queen a4 check. But I might fall for. What was I saying? Yeah, those Jans are different. Radio Jan, very different dude as well. Then there's Private Jan, different guy. Card playing Jan, chess professional Jan. Everybody, my point is, not that I'm schizophrenic, but that everybody is different according to the setting and the audience. And by audience, I don't necessarily mean people watching on the internet, but whoever we're interacting with. I think that's kind of normal, or I do not believe that people have an essence or act consistently like that all the time because we're complex. Does that make sense? I might have been reading too much Steppenwolf. Still haven't finished it. What other talking points did I have for today? I have this long list of talking points. Normally, whatever stuff I've been watching are my only talking points. Oh, I have this thing I should plug. We will do a 72-hour Banterton next week with, since we're old and lazy, 3 people, not 2, but I hope you guys will enjoy it. It's gonna be, can I announce this? Yeah, I think it's more or less fixed. It's gonna be Luke Van Wely, Lawrence Trent, our old friend, and myself. We will play from Monday 4 p.m. till Thursday 4 p.m. taking probably 8-hour shifts. More or less, yeah. I think I'll start doing the first shift on... Can I take the pawn? Sorry, got distracted by pawn here. On Monday, 4 p.m. Yeah, my time, whatever my time is. I never know what my time is. CET, GMT +1, whatever it is. You guys figure it out. 4 p.m. my time. Sandra BS Revenge does spell Segway, the S-E-G-W-A-Y, which is, I'm not sure, she says do your Segway thing. I'm not sure if by my Segway thing you mean that I used to think this is the correct spelling. Because I did think that, but turns out that this spelling of Segway is just this little thing that Kevin James wrote in Paul Blart Mall Cop. Well, the Segway where you transition to different topic is actually spelled S-E-G-U-E. That was a big revelation for me recently. As for this game, I'm winning. 2 pawns up and some checkmate threats in the air. So yeah, next week, Banterton, Monday till Thursday. There's a question by Sandra. What's the deal with Trent? Is he back for Chess 24? I don't think he's back with anything. I'm not sure what he's up to, but I'm always glad to have him around here. I'm sure he's working on other things as well, but I'm happy to have him. I'm also very excited to have Lukey Boy, because I like to see Luke suffer. And I think Luke underestimates how hard it is to play 8 hours of Banterton in a row, even though I'm sure he will say different things. I'm looking forward to it. We've done it with 2 people in the past, but there you kind of just want to die at some point. So with 3 people, it's still going to be tough, but a bit more enjoyable. So very much looking forward to that. And of course, Lawrence Trent is penciled in for the midnight till 8 a.m. shift. He volunteered though. Is the game over? Yep. Turf and Fragment resigned. Thanks for the game. Everything was fine until e4 just gives me the central pawn. Like, yeah, any other move. a3 or whatever. Bishop e2. Nothing special has happened. And yeah, pay attention to this thing, which I almost blundered in the opening, even though I've tried this myself. You do not want to blunder queen a4 check here. All right. Can we play a new game? How about ATHS number 18 from India? 18 years old? Or are you 18? Sorry. Another self-conscious thing. I feel like this shirt makes me look unfavorably fat. Because, you know, normally most of the show I'm staring at my own reflection. The chat is over there. I can see how the show looks over here. And the actual chessboard is over here. So there's 3 places I look at. Or maybe 4 places if we include the camera. Oh, it's another 3-minute game? How often do I have to say this? I will fall for it constantly, because I normally don't look if you're challenged for 3 or 5 minutes. I might have to, but please, I really, really prefer 5 minutes, because it gives me more time to mess around. And I do like to mess around. Total London is speculating ATHS 18 is born in 1918. I doubt it. That'd make him 99 years old. How much would he know about Ragozin theory as a 99-year-old? I'm very old, but I don't know very much about Ragozin theory. Now it looks more like a Queen C2 Nimzo Indian, where I had to give up my bishop, but in return I'm gaining some speedy development, and I got this bishop to its ideal square on f5. So these positions tend to be roughly equal or fine for black. But of course, white is very fine as well. e3, I'm not sure I would have done this because, yeah, he locks up his own bishop voluntarily. I would have tried bishop f4, asking me to do something aggressive about it, like g5, which probably I would have done, but still, at least going for some concessions. Well, now my position is reasonably comfortable to play, because this bishop, yeah, doesn't have a whole lot to do. And this is a big gap in my chess understanding. I think here was bad, actually, because I'm giving him this b4 square, but this whether or not to go a4 or not, and whether or not to seize this structure transformation is something that I never fully figured out. And the answer, as always, is it depends. There is no right or wrong. But I have a feeling I constantly get it wrong, or I constantly have to think about it in situations where really it should be obvious to a player of my caliber. Here I've just misplayed it after a4. Now I am slightly worse, which really wasn't the plan. And I've also been slow, because it's a 3-minute game, blah blah. But yeah, not my proudest outing so far. I'm gonna lose this? Is this gonna be the one? I'm really drifting in trouble here. Queen a8 check. Yup, this is it. Also, yeah, just got crushed here over the last couple of moves. Didn't pay a lot of attention, but I thought I paid enough, frankly, but not the case. Okay, couple pawns down, no compensation. That means I'm gonna have to swindle or flack or both Mr. ATHS18, who keeps playing well. And that's also unfortunate. Makes my life much harder if people are actually playing well. Ugh, well, I keep playing badly. That also doesn't help. Okay, time to speed up. I never get when people are trying to repeat moves in winning positions, but I am trying to, I don't know what I'm trying to do, to commit suicide here. Sometimes I prefer losing to making a draw, which is probably not a smart thing. And yeah. Why is he playing fantastically so quickly? It's very, very hard to handle. No chance. Drama, baby. But yeah, excellent game by ATHS18. Quite a battle there, and he's clearly way, way stronger than his rating. So good game, ATHS18. That was a very confusing game, but I just got crushed. Yeah, as you can see, I'm very much in bullet mode. I did become quick and yeah, this clicking and so on, but I'm trying to avoid it during the Banter Blitz shows because yeah, really, it's not a lot of talk, but that's why. Please, 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 5 minutes really makes the show better in my opinion. Anyway, thanks for the game. Another strong opponent. A lot of strong opponents at these strange hours. Probably, I don't know why that is. Silvo, 2662. This is a tough day. Another King's Indian. Let's play this for variety's sake. This is one of those lines, and I have a lot of these lines because yeah, I don't really study openings as much as I used to or as I would like to for my own benefit. I do the occasional thing for Chess24 and the commentary and so on. But yeah, this is one of these lines I would like to study more. H6, is that what they do? Or normally rook b8 followed by h6? No, am I supposed to go... Ugh, I can't remember things. I do know that there's one line with h3, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to play this here. g5, then bishop e3, g4 is something I've seen in the past. Yeah, I think now we're transposing to the line I meant, rook b8, rook c1, g5, when there's bishop d2 or bishop e3. I vaguely recall having looked at something like this and it was fine for black, so I'm not quite sure why I'm going for it. But as mentioned, that is sometimes the price for not... whatever, I'm banging out theoretical moves, so it's not like I know nothing, but for not being all that booked up in some of these lines. I believe this is also a line Robin van Kampen gave in his very good series on the King's Indian on Chess24, which I highly recommend. I do have a feeling that I've seen this position before, and in the end I concluded it was fine for black. Probably I concluded it was fine for white too. That's the amount of details I can remember. Does sort of look fine for black, if we're being totally honest. Which, total honesty, I don't think that's a good thing. Be a lot of trouble in the world if we were all totally honest with each other all the time. Tons of wars. Scary. What's going on here? Queen a7, can I do that? I don't know, looks a bit far from the action. Some bishop g4. But I'm so greedy, I can never help myself. I might get checkmated. Pay the price for my greed. But pawn is a pawn, you know. h5, Silvo playing very strongly as well. I don't enjoy that, my dear boy. Then b2 drops. I don't want b2 to drop, but I also don't want to get checkmated. So many things I don't want to happen. Anything I can do about it apart from complaining? Probably not. I have a feeling I have no time to worry about b2, but need to get in a defensive stance ASAP. And yep, that was the price of doing business. Question is, can I actually continue grabbing pawns? Because I really want to. I don't know. Feels a bit excessive once again. You know me, can't help it. Just because you put a cat in the oven, don't make it a biscuit. Still an expression I don't understand, but I feel it's appropriate here. I shouldn't pretend to be a biscuit that does not enjoy grabbing pawns. Is that the expression? Probably that's not it. You know what? I can be reasoned with. I'm willing to exchange queens. Even at the price of my extra pawn. Well, that's not true. Not at the price of my extra pawn. But in general, I'm willing to exchange queens. Looks like Zilvo and I are not on the same page when it comes to getting rid of the queens. Still can't say I'm overly pleased with my position, but it doesn't look like I'm getting checkmated anytime soon either, so there's some good to it. Rook a2, seems like Zilvo also started worrying about the pawns. You know, let's continue this foolishness. Get rid of this dude before he does any harm. Queen f4. Looks a bit like empty calories. Knight g5, yes, queen h4. That's a pity. Nah, I guess I should keep some dudes around my king. And they say the knight is the king's best friend. So, there you go, Mr. King. It's time to start my vicious counterattack. Let's see. I want to go rook h1, followed by queen h7, checkmate. Just so you know. You can probably stop me from doing so by going queen d4, for example. Queen g5 might stop the queen h7 checkmate, but not the rook h1 part. It's a pity that I can't play rook h5 because c1 is hanging. But I'll still create all kinds of mayhem. c5 threatening. Bunch of checks. Was deciding if this check or this check, but this looks better because it keeps an eye on c1 rook. Now I can do this, for example. Queen e3, does that bother me? Thought of it bothers me. c6, f4, c7 should be fast enough there. I have a feeling I'm just winning, but it still needs to be handled with care, that's for sure. Because my king is so open, all alone in the danger zone. I should try not to blunder any mates in one. And I don't see any. ef, king f3, queen g4 I can take. Queen e3. The good thing is I can get a queen with check and now think about the situation, which is normally a reasonable starting point. I think just for simplicity's sake, I'll continue giving checks. Because as long as you check your opponent, it's normally, of course there's exceptions to this rule, but normally it's very hard for him to checkmate you while you're checking him. And I believe this is no exception. And sorry, Zilvo, good game. All right. Let's play Mr. Toto London. From London or from Toto? What's Toto? Is that like a lottery company? Lotto Toto? Is that a band that lost their lead singer to the Eagles? Toto? Anyway, we get another London system. Because Toto, maybe he's not from London, maybe just enjoys the London opening. And I'm gonna mix it up. Normally I do play d5, because after c5, not that comfortable with the move to d5. But this time around, I'll go for this. Problem, practically speaking, here is that after knight c3, that's the best move. Queen b2, knight b5, knight d5. White can force a draw with rook b1, queen a2, rook a1, and so on and so forth. So it's not always a great choice when you're trying to win. b3 strikes me as a bit slow here. Or not even as a bit slow, it's just weakening the dark squares on the queen side in the long run. So after cd, whatever, ed, d5, followed by knight c6, sooner or later, this pawn on b3, in combination with a bishop on f4, is going to feel a little strange. Nothing too bad has happened. I'll just get my pieces out. Bishop e7, castle, put some rook on c8, then have a look around and hope that long term the c3 pawn will turn out to be vulnerable. Freddy the pawn. I'm building my own Turk. I believe Turk refers to this, the first chess computer they had, which they called the Turk. I need a plaster cast of Jan's head. I'm finished. I don't know. It sounds a bit disturbing, Freddy the pawn. I'm sure your intentions are well, but could you somehow do it without the? Not that I knew what a plaster cast of my head was, but it still sounds like an uncomfortable procedure, like voodoo dollish a bit. Not sure. What's Crazy55 saying? I think I've seen that. I'm not sure what you've seen, Crazy55. G4 is a bit excessive, Toto London. I understand my pieces are annoying, but G4 just weakens your king too much. Gotta think about your majesty's home. Serious leak in the roof now. King h2. Right, how do we get anything done around here? I'm trying to get to the c3 pawn through the back door. Threatening bishop b2, which I thought might be surprisingly awkward to meet. Not so easy to stop me from going bishop b2, especially now that my bishop is controlling this diagonal. Oh, just on the chess24 side where I have the chat open, I can see the Twitter open. And whoever is operating that chess24 Twitter account is saying, I'm pretending I was forced to watch Beauty and the Beast. I think I did not even use the word was forced. What did I say? Kind of forced? Was dragged along? I was certainly the end one on that Beauty and the Beast operation. Because if it had been up to me, John Wick 2, baby. Date night, 128 people killed. But one day it will happen. I will one day see John Wick 2. I started to rewatch the first one just so I'm updated on the story when I go to watch John Wick 2. Because it's important to understand what exactly happened to Keanu Reeves. Spoiler alert, in the first part, they did kill his puppy. And they did steal his car. So to retaliate, he does kill, once again, spoiler alert, but I don't know the exact number. I would guess around 90 people. Which sounds, you know, proportionate. Is that the word? Sounds like a bit of an overreaction. Similarly to that witch in Beauty and the Beast that condemned them all to be cursed from now till eternity because they wouldn't give her shelter while she purposefully deceived them, dressed up like an older woman, even though she wasn't. Then there's some yada yada about true beauty is on the inside and so on. But still, none of that really is reason for cursing them for good. Also, what bothered me is the prince, as far as I understood, was a bit of a jerk. Blundered knight g6. This is your chance, Total London. That's not one piece, that's a bunch of pieces I blundered in one move. I might still be material up because I managed to and grab quite a few things before. But that wasn't very good. See, that's how upset I am about Beauty and the Beast. And now Total London is like starting to give me the business here, playing some strong moves, capturing this, and I might no longer be up material. Am I still up material? Let's count. I have 2 rooks and a knight against 4 minor pieces. What's that? Like roughly material balance? He didn't have to go queen e1 so quickly. Should have played b5 when I would have been in real trouble. Now I guess I'm kind of okay. But yeah, I shouldn't have blundered these 2 pieces. Anyway, what I was going to say about Beauty and the Beast, the prince, not a nice guy before he gets converted into the beast, but then somehow they try to explain that away by saying, yeah, but his father was really mean and he poisoned this innocent child. But aren't we operating under the assumption that all kids are kind of innocent? And of course, what we become as adults is, I don't know if I'm making my point very wisely here, is a product of education and influences, but it sounded like, no, it's okay that he was such a jerk, because if we are saying that he was such a jerk, as I said, I might get mated after knight f7, by the way. Knight g6 probably not mating me, because I'm losing my train of thought here with all the matiness. So we're saying I didn't get why it was okay for the prince to be evil and then to explain it away with, oh, but his father made him become like him, but he was an innocent child. I would guess everybody starts out as an innocent child, right? And then if we're horrible as adults, I don't know if that can be explained so easily. But his father was real mean too. Anyway, this heavier topic than I meant to get into with Beauty and the Beast. I'm saying that some things did seem a bit out of proportion to me. And there was a lot of singing, which, didn't do it for me. But before I get too far on the negative side of Beauty and the Beast, I should mention that it's very nicely done. The special effects are great, the songs, if you're into that kind of thing, which I'm not, I'm guessing are great. It's well crafted, there's a lot of expert talent, a lot of great actors on it. Another thing that bothered me, the actor, the main dude, the beast, Dan Stevens. I like that guy. He did this movie, The Guest, where, once again, spoiler alert, he shows up in some town as an army veteran, or he says he is. And then he kind of goes on to kill everybody. And it's a great acting job, very creepy performance by Dan Stevens. And now you're doing The Beast and saying, you're there singing, I am so alone. I don't know, man. I understand. You worked your way up in Hollywood, but still, I'd rather see you like John Wicking up some small town than like capturing Belle. Did I talk too much about Beauty and the Beast in this episode? No. How could you? One last game before we wrap it up. But who do I play? How about this guy? Lorenz Trent. Very creative. From Poland. He plays the Slav. Why am I missing in the chat? Miguel Angel Rodriguez Jr. says, I know a movie you like a lot. What do you mean by that? Can you recommend a movie which we will like a lot? Or do you know a movie that you know I like a lot? Or what are we talking about? Bishop f5 is a good move in this move order by Lorenz Trent. And after CD, Queen b3, Queen c7 is a key move when black, unfortunately, is fine. Bishop b5 check. I think I've played this line in the past. But both knight d7 or bishop d7 are fine for black. A, F, A, Y, K. Miguel Angel Rodriguez Jr. mentions something about Mary. That is a good movie. And not just because of the hair product. No, I do enjoy something about Mary. There's a bunch of silly comedies I enjoy. My favorite that is not as well known as the others is, speaking of the others, here comes, is The Other Guys. That is very highly recommended. I think knight c3 is dumb here. I should probably do something else. Don't know the theory. I do know this is nothing for it. The Other Guys I enjoy greatly. Of course, Kung Fu Hustle. Of course, Anchorman. Of course, Dodgeball. That's more or less my viewing list. I have a feeling I shouldn't exchange bishops because this, bad bishop. Well, this good bishop. Instead, I should go bishop d3 castle and then try to open the position with e4 very quickly. Let's do it. Not sure if this is the right moment for e4. No, I might have had this position. I think I played bishop d2, probably a much stronger move than rook c1 against Johnny Hector at some point, and went e4 later after some rook b8, bishop d6 thing, where it made more sense. Here it feels like it was a little mistimed because he can just go bishop e7, and I don't see what I'm doing. Prezi55 is saying dodgeball is great. What's the next thing you're gonna tell us? That you breathe and see, I can't even pronounce breathe. That you breathe and sleep and eat? Of course, dodgeball is great. Patches O'Houlihan is arguably the wisest man that ever roamed this earth. And I have not given up of becoming my own man like Walt Goodman myself one day. Is it Walt Goodman? White Goodman. I'm really losing it if I can't remember such character names. What do I do here? A3? No, why not? Lorenz Trent. Playing very well so far. Very unpleasant. Prezi55 is asking, what about mafia movies, Jan? The Godfather, Donnie Brasco, Goodfellas, Scarface. Donnie Brasco is number 2 on your list. Your list is The Godfather, then Donnie Brasco, then Goodfellas, then Scarface. So let's take them one at a time. Goodfella 2, 2 best movies ever made. Godfather 2, see, I'm really confusing everything. Godfather 2, 2 best movies ever made. Goodfellas, very good, but not on that level in my book, but yes, still. Bunch of great classic scenes, like when they enter the restaurant through the kitchen and so on. So I like that. Scarface, yeah, obviously. Well, obviously it's good. It's not, I don't know, is it a mafia movie? In my book, it's something slightly different. It's more of a drug movie. Not sure if that's a fair distinction. Donnie Brasco, yeah, obviously is not on that level. What other good mafia movies are there? Once Upon a Time in America? Nah, it's also not up there. I don't know. Yeah, I like those. Who doesn't? Bishop f1 I didn't like that much. Player number 5 asks, do you like Prison Break? I think I'm gonna give the same answer every human has ever given to that question. I like season 1. Season 2, rest. Ugh. But yeah, who doesn't like season 1 of Prison Break? Is this a wise pre-move? Not a lot to lose, I guess. Casino is brought up by ADR VRL. There's some people that say Casino is this underrated genius piece and it's better than Goodfellas and so on. I don't know. Casino feels awfully slow, right? Like, yeah. I wasn't that much into Casino, but I'm sure it has things going. Departed, Carlito's Way. Yeah, Departed, okay. I also wouldn't call that a mafia movie, but I did like it a lot. Carlito's Way, yeah, it's now the third tier of those. Still good, but not quite on the level. And I finally managed to trick Lorenz Trent into giving me one of his pieces by aimlessly moving around. But I did threaten knight takes c6, piece up. There you go. Don't let all the mafia talk fool you, Lorenz. You're still my main target. Annie Nick, not a premium member, so I should not get that upset and not into this comment. But this admiration of dodgeball thing is German irony, right? Because it's just a truly terrible American unsubtle non-comedy, isn't it? How anybody could say such a thing is beyond me. There is no irony in my dodgeball admiration and the fact that I've watched it, I don't know, 15 times? And I will watch it again. Maybe I'll watch it again tonight. It's a fantastic movie. You kidding me? ESPN 8 El Ocho, the Lance Armstrong segment, David Hasselhoff segment, all the global gym team. Like, what is not to like about dodgeball? I don't know. And no, I'm not kidding the slightest bit. Other movies, like sometimes there is some criticism to Ben Stiller ironically playing these buffed guys, but it does mean that he has to get into shape. And yeah, it's kind of, yeah, we understand you're pretending it's ironic, but you want to be this bodybuilder type because you keep choosing roles like that to become a bodybuilder, but then you can say, oh, but I did it ironically for a role. But you still have to do it, and you keep doing it over and over. So who are you kidding, Ben Stiller? But dodgeball is a fine work. And Lawrence Trent did fine work here, but he should not have given me that piece after Queen G3. Even though, in his defense, he's in trouble, real big trouble. Bishop H6 is a threat, Knight C6 is a threat. Not a nice position. And that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Any closing words? No, come by for the Banterton, where the account on which we will play is called Banterton. Will be operated by yours truly, by International Master Lawrence Trent, and by almost Super Grandmaster Luke Van Vele, starting Monday 4 p.m. my time. To give you a clue, right now it is 1:30 p.m. my time, until Thursday 4 p.m. still my time. It will be great fun, not for us, we'll suffer, but I look forward to crushing you all there, hanging out. See you guys on Monday, because I'm gone over the weekend. Hopefully not to see Beauty and the Beast again, but taking a little tour to Copenhagen. See you guys on Monday. I will be back to crush you all well rested. Bye. Thanks for watching.